Hey guys, it's Matt from Mafka on YouTube. Thought I'd do a review today on the Splash Drone 3 Plus. Now, overall, I can tell you straight up, it's a really good product. Now, any issues that I have had with it was kind of been my own fault. So, flying it in conditions that are too windy for the drone to handle, which the drone still did really well, but as I've landed it, the blades wouldn't stop spinning because the wind just kept them spinning. And but that, like I said, that was my own fault. The version I've got is this one that has the PL2 camera. So it's only, you just move it where you want it. Generally I don't keep it like this because, like, if I'm worried about the drone not coming back and it's looking down, I don't know which direction the drone's flying. Most of the time I'm looking at the drone itself, I'm not looking at the screen. So generally I'll put it like this, so I can see where the horizon is, and I can know which direction to fly. So this is the PL2, which was just the base model one. You can get like the 4K ones now, and the night vision ones also. But this one is suitable for me. You know, I'm not making documentaries or something like that. Super simple. On the control here, you just flick the switch, and then this thing opens up. You put your line in, so this goes underneath the drone. And you just put your line in, flick the switch, this bar then closes and locks in, drone takes off, you flick it again, it comes off. Probably the main thing that's annoyed me about this is it's just really big. Like, you look at it, this thing is, it's massive, you know? And like the box, look how big the box is. I'm already carrying a bag, 3 fishing rods, tripods, GoPro, fishing rod holders. It's a lot of stuff to carry, you know? But overall, it's a really, really good product. Now, I have had a couple of times where I've gone to land it and then the blades wouldn't stop spinning because of the wind. Like I said, it's my fault. So what I've had to do is just fly it up and then just pretty much crash it into the sand, and because of that, I've actually got sand in a couple of the rotors, and the rotors permanently don't come off. Just 2 of them. So the other 2 are fine, but it's just these 2, but it works out perfectly because when I put it in the box, all I have to do is just turn this rotor and turn this rotor, and it fits perfectly inside the box. So, lucky it wasn't 3, not 2. Also, I've had some legs fall off, but that could have been my own fault from just not putting them in properly. And like, you feel it's in there, but sometimes it might not be, you know? So you just gotta double check and triple check everything. The battery life's about half an hour on it. No, probably less than that, probably about 20 minutes. So it gives you at least, I don't know, maybe 10 flights or something like that. And, well, I just counted it by buying 2 extra batteries. So, yeah, but they are pretty pricey. It's like 220 bucks a battery, so altogether the whole thing's probably gonna cost you, I don't know, this was like 2,300 I think. So it's around 3,000 if you're going to get extra batteries like I did. Honestly, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with this. Like, generally I just fish off the surf, and I tend to catch more using my surf rods on the beach than using this. Like, when I take this out and fly it out and stuff, usually the crabs eat my bait within 5 or 10 minutes of me dropping it off. And then there's 300 meters I have to wind it in again, you know. Because you got the crabs eating it, you're constantly concerned if your bait's gone or not, and then like, if you leave it out there for 2 hours, how do you know your bait's not gone already, you know? It's frustrating as. And yeah, it can carry a fair bit. Like, I've had like, probably, I don't know, pretty decent sinker. It is about, I don't know what weight that is. And it's carried that, and the line, and the drag from the fishing rod. All good without any issues. What else did I go over? Yeah, apart from the size, it's actually a pretty decent product. Like, does exactly what it says, picks up the bait, flies it out, and flies home by itself. And I'm going to Adelaide this year, in a couple of weeks, so I'll definitely give it another go. Last time I was up there, I caught a elephant shark in like hurricane winds. I shouldn't have been using this at that time. But yeah, ideally they say that it should be around 17 knots for it to be used for fishing. Well, in Melbourne that doesn't happen very often, you know, it's always windy here. It's like a minimum of 20 knots for a standard day, and yeah, it's not very often that you get really perfect weather to fly this thing. So, also it's just a pain to drag around everywhere, and like, if I had to go back, I don't think I'd buy it, to be honest. Like, for $3,000, I could have bought myself some nice new fishing gear, you know? And like, it hasn't been that beneficial for me, but I'm not exactly a professional fisherman. I'm not using it to go and hunt sharks or anything like that. I just drop a standard bait, you know, like puffer pilly or just like one of those California squids like this long, a couple of hooks. But I haven't really had much luck with it. I've caught a couple of little snapfillets or pinkies. The shark and a couple of salmon, but that's about it, you know. I think, like, if you really want to enjoy this product, like if you're from Queensland or something like that, where you got like beautiful tropical fish and giant fish swimming around and stuff like that, yeah, I think this would be a really good product for you. But for Melbourne, in my experience, I feel it hasn't been that good of a product for me. Yeah, even though how good quality it is. Like, the first time I got this, I didn't really know what I was doing. I had a few practices at the park with it, and I had my fishing rods all lined up. Now I didn't take into account of the wind, because the park I was in, it was kind of blocked off, so I couldn't feel the wind. And then I flew the drone up, it got caught in the wind, flew sideways and chopped the top off 2 of my fishing rods, which was really just sucked. It took out 2 of the rotors with it too. So yeah, first flight cost me, I think it was like 120 bucks for the 2 rotors to get replaced, and I had to buy 2 new 14-foot surf rods as well. And yeah, that sucked. Just a few other things. If you are stupid, like I am, and you over discharge the battery, you can send it back to UAV Wholesale, and they'll recharge it up for you and post it back. But yes, pay for postage both directions. Oh yeah, so when you're starting it, you actually push these 2 down, and if the blades don't spin, this is the only problem that I found with it. Just walk up, flip blade like that, then press it, and it will start straight away. That's probably the only issue I've had from these guys. Apart from that, everything else is sweet on it. And it is built really well. Like, I've crashed this a lot, like quite a few times into trees and just into the sand and stuff like that. And apart from the blades getting stuck, I haven't really had an issue. Like, if there's, like, just say I do damage one of the blades or something, I'll just send it back and get them to replace the rotor, because I can't take the blades off now. But yeah, if you do over discharge it, just send me a message on YouTube and I will give you the email address of the UAV so you can send it back to get repaired. Cool. Also, there's some new upgrades on it these days. You can buy the PL3, which is the Payload 3 release, which is the same as this. It's 4K, and they also have a night vision one now. I'm not too sure about that. I haven't actually seen that for myself yet. It's got a fly home function, which is pretty cool. I've never actually owned a drone before, and so you just pick it up, fly it out, get the thing to drop the bait, click the fly home function, and it lands roughly within a meter of where you launch from. Now, when I'm launching off the beach, as you'll probably see on the video I'm going to show at the end, I tend to have the rod going straight up and then have the line coming out about 5 meters away from the rod. Just in case when I lift up, if it does tilt, it's not going to take out my fishing rod. Alright? And yeah, and just when it's coming back to land, like if you've got your fishing rod going straight and your line going that way, and then you launch from in front of the fishing rod, it's going to come down and cut your line off. So you need to be a little bit on the side, just to make sure that it doesn't chop your line in half when it comes back. Some of the issues I found when I've been on surf beaches and stuff like that is side wash and seaweed. Oh, it's so bad. So I'll take the drone, fly it up, drop the lines out, and then it'll get caught in a side wash and 300 meters of line will be down the beach. And that's so annoying. And like if the seaweed gets on it, You know when like you cast your lines out, you get a bit of weed on it, it all builds up? Well, when you have 300 meters of line going out, it's basically about this big at the end. So, you know, pretty much every time that happens to me, I just replace the spool because it makes the line weak, always being stretched and stuff like that. I use 20-pound line, 22-pound I think, line on my fishing rods, and yeah, I found that's the good one, the good size, because I've used thicker lines before and it just spools out too fast. You fly like 150 meters and the whole spool's gone. So you want to get about 22-pound line, and then that should give you around 400 meters for your overall spool, because you want to go out about 200, 250, 300 meters, and that's like the good area apparently, according to there. And yeah, also when you are launching the drone, don't open your spool. Set your spool to a really light drag, but then not too light so that when it pulls it, it still spins after it stops. So you want a little bit of tension in there. You'll see on the videos when I do it, the rod's going crazy because I got like tension on the line. And like, when I first did it, I flew the drone up, flew it out, had the bail arm open, and pretty much my line just got caught in the wind and just pretty much ripped all the line off the thing. And it's just a nightmare you don't want to deal with. Same thing with the overhead reels. You want to have a bit of pressure on the drag so it doesn't, I think it's called bird's nest, so it doesn't bird nest up. And yeah, it's all I can really think of at the moment. Like I said at the start, overall, it is a really good product. But it is chunky as hell. Like, can you imagine carrying all my fishing gear, all my recording equipment, and this up the beach? You look like Rambo, seriously. You got all these straps on you and just, it's crazy. Yeah, if you've got any more questions, just, post some comments, post some messages. Also, if you'd like to support my channel, you can find me on Patreon under Matt's Adventures. Thanks guys, catch you later. Drone rig that I use. I use 2 reasonably heavy seekers, 30-pound case, to a small dropper loop, which I fix the drone. And I have 2 other dropper loops that are far apart, going to a swivel to my standard line. So as you can see, it's quite long, because I want to keep it off the ground away from all the crabs.